So you have this splendid new office. You have offices in the US, but you're the CEO of this company. What's a CEO, and what does a CEO actually do? I'm always wondering. Really?
Yeah. Well, a CEO is it's a very broad role, and I think in every company it's different. But for us, it's you really well, as Robert said, our CEO, it's the right hand of the CEO. And I think a lot of CEOs, especially if they're founder CEOs, they're very visionary. So I'm really a CEO that's really focused on execution. That's also what I like to do. Mm-hmm. I like to align the teams. I like to worry about all the internal stuff. And so that's what we have in our dynamic. But I think if you look at other CEOs of different companies, they can have a mm-hmm. different kind of role. It really depends of the needs and the strengths of the CEO.
So you're doing operations, because that's what CEO, Chief Operations Officer. So how does the operations look like? What do you have to do all day?
Well, that's a really hard question. And it's also...
And it's the most interesting question, I think.
And it's ever changing. So I think what's really important in my role is that you really adapt what the company needs at that moment in time.
So what does the company need right now?
Right now, as I said, we're close to 200 people. So alignment, communication is really important.
HR?
Also, HR is super important. Yeah, that's still I do HR myself. I think because it's so important for the...
You don't have an HR director or an HR team?
We have an HR team, but we don't have HR head of people or VP people.
So maybe that's your next step? I'm not. Yeah, could be.
Yeah, we're definitely looking for someone, but we're always a bit careful who we're gonna place there, because it's so important that you find the right person that really truly believes in the values and is authentic and.
But is that also a bit of the pitfall that you might be looking for somebody who's exactly like you to do the job that you're doing?
You should definitely not be someone that is exactly like me, for sure. No, of course, but as the company scales, you have to set the priorities right. And in the beginning of this year, we were with only a handful of people. So HR, a formal HR, was not that important, especially if your culture is wide. But over time, now we have to maintain 200 people and the onboarding and offboarding and questions. So of course we had to create an HR department, but I would rather call it people than traditional HR.
Yeah, you have to fill in this form and here's your pass and that's your desk.
Yeah.
So does it ever daunt you that now it's 200 people, but it might be 1,000 or 10,000 in the future if you continue this kind of growth? It would scare me.
Yeah, it doesn't scare me, because I feel that we're kind of you're in a journey and you do what's in the best interest of the company. So it could be that we are with 1,000 in a couple of years or with 10, that I have no clue. But we're not hiring people for just hitting numbers or want to be a big company. We really look what's needed. And we're always focused on engineering, hiring sales teams, and then you of course have the business support functions around it, and it should all be in balance. So if you have an HR department of 25 people, then that's too massive for the current team we are with. But so it's balancing the team and balancing the dynamics, and it could be that we are with a lot of people, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe IPO in the future, who knows. So maybe this is the moment, because you're hiring so many people. How many vacancies do you have right now?
I have no clue. There are a lot.
25, 50?
No, more. I think close to 80 or so.
80 or so?
Yeah.
So maybe this is the moment where you can actually pitch. Why should people work for MessageBird?
Why should people work for MessageBird? I think if you're looking for an environment which you can really be yourself, looking for a high-pace, fast-growing company, don't want to be bored, you should definitely join MessageBird.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mayke, thank you so much for this interview. It was great.
No, thanks.
Good luck with the journey.
Thank you.
Cheers.